Okay, I just have one thing I wanted to share. We recently got a letter from the Secretary of Energy telling us that we were one of only a few cities to win a grant, actually a recognition for our sustainability efforts and our Green Business Challenge. So we're going to get $20,000. Not a lot of money, but it will help to help us to continue to work on our Green Business Challenge. Well, this is where we try and get local businesses involved in sustainability. We were really, I think there was a list of 20 cities maybe that were involved, so it wasn't a lot, and we were really excited about being one of the 20. So this is a notice if you guys want more information on it.
Okay, so there were actually 20 cities that won.
There were multiple cities. I don't, 4?
4 out of 20?
I don't know about 20, there were 4.
No, I thought there was a list.
There's only 4 cities that got this.
Oh. 4. There were actually 4 cities that got this.
Only 4 in the country.
Apparently, yeah.
So what I want to know is, of the other 3 cities, did they print on both sides of the paper? That's very green. I gotta believe that was part of the conversation.
Well, you know, we've been working on this Green Building Challenge for a couple of years, and our PACE, which is a finance system for commercial properties to finance retrofitting their surroundings to save energy. And so this is nice to get this recognition. It's great.
What did we have to do to get it?
I don't know that we had to do anything but just be as wonderful as we usually are.
But you had to let them know what the city was doing.
Yeah, we've been working on the Green, as I said, Green Business Challenge for a couple of years, and I think we probably had to submit some kind of an application or information anyway. But it's good. Our sustainability office, there's only a couple of people who work in there, and they've really accomplished a lot over the last couple of years, really getting a lot of recognition. We're the only city in Florida recognized, so it's good. What questions do you have?
Got a new police chief?
Yeah.
And
My recommendation is going to the commission on Tuesday. To appoint Brian Cumberland.
presuming that they bless your selection, what's your first priorities for the new chief?
Well, Brian and I have talked about a couple of things. We have a strategic plan, and he will be charged with implementing the strategies in that strategic plan. We will continue to do the intelligence-led policing. And if you talk to Brian, Brian will say his #1 priority is to hire more police officers. I think I said last week we have something like 24 openings that we need to get filled, and and I know that I've gotten notes from various people who have decided to apply, or whose children have decided to apply, so hopefully we'll get those positions filled. But last time our last go around, we had 150 applications and we hired 4 people. So it's very highly competitive, and you have to pass physical tests, psychological tests, knowledge tests. It's very competitive.
Did these 24 openings are already budgeted? These are open positions?
Correct.
Okay.
They're already in the budget.
Some people at one of the recent city commission meetings made some allegations about the chief being involved in this in-house clique, and that kind of was an insular group. Can you say whether you guys looked into this? Can you comment on that?
What I can tell you is, the police chief has been here 23 years, I think. So I'm sure that there are all kinds of allegations about who he likes, who he doesn't like, who he's involved with, who he's not involved with. When you work at the same place for 23 years. But I did talk to him about the challenges of moving into a supervisory position after having been one of the guys, literally. And he's done that. He was captain, he was assistant chief, now as police chief, and he's shown to me through his history that that's not an issue. And you know, we talked about it. That he, you know, I expect him to be to really follow through on disciplinary measures. When Chief Damasi was here, he laid out a matrix of discipline that everybody has bought into, and Chief Cumberland pledged to continue to use that matrix as his guideline. So I feel like he's going to do a really great job as chief.
You're satisfied that he has not and will not use any undue favoritism?
I am satisfied, yes. A little human interest side, after it was in the news that I was going to appoint him, we got an email here from the city from a woman who was, I believe she was downtown, I'm not exactly sure where, but she was getting out of her car, it was pouring rain, she trying to juggle her umbrella, she dropped her iPad, she had her high heels on, she twisted her ankle, and she said a police officer came to her and helped her and got her umbrella and walked her to where she was going, and that was Brian Cumberland. So he is a very, very thoughtful guy and very generous with his time. And you know, just a really good person.
What's your timetable for getting these 24 guys on board? You said it's not that easy. You don't
As
just
soon
walk
as we
in.
can.
What's that?
As soon as we can.
Months?
Well, it takes a while because we have to advertise, we have to get applications, and then there's a whole testing procedure that everybody has to go through. So yeah, definitely months.
And even once they're hired, they have to go to the academy.
Right. And some of them may have already gone to the academy previous.
Were those positions being held up?
No, they've been available, it's just, they're hard to fill.
It's gotten more competitive now as budgets have improved. A lot of departments, there's a lot of departments needing officers and not only so many officers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very competitive. Although I have to say, we don't have any problem getting applications. People want to work in our agency.
What's happening with the CRA? Is that coming up soon?
Well, we have you mean the housing CRA? Or what CRA are you talking about?
The one you fired, the one they
The
fired?
agency that was fired.
Yeah.
Right.
Fired entity that was
Okay.
fired, but
That-
you might be hiring her back as the director.
The CR Associates, that's sort of the best way to talk about it. They are with us till June 1st, and we are going through the process of deciding who we're going to have in the position that was created last week or 2 weeks ago by the City Commission. And we're going through a vetting process, so.
All Aboard Florida, which is every week discussion. Incidentally, I saw something, I subscribe to all these different things. There is a group called Not All Aboard Florida.
Right.
And they put a little thing on Facebook this morning urging all of their followers to email you and gave your email
Really?
address saying how
Oh, I'm
much they're
so
they're
excited.
opposed to All Aboard Florida. But if I understand correctly, the construction of the downtown West Palm Beach All Aboard Florida station would require the closing of Datura and Avernia streets. It would also require, their building this would require approval from the city. You are asking the All Aboard Florida people to fund the construction of a parallel road to go parallel to Quadrille on the west side of the tracks. Am I understanding that correctly? It would seem to me that you've got a lot of leverage because you don't have to approve the train station.
Well, there's levels of approval. All Aboard Florida has the right to do what they want to do on their tracks in that area. There's not much we can do in terms of stopping them moving forward. We have to approve the design of the train station, and, all of the permitting issues that have to go along with that. But we continue to work with them on the things that we want, and from the very beginning, I've said to anybody who is willing to listen, there are several things that we want. We want pedestrian crossovers, we want that parallel road, we want quiet zones. Of course, we want it beautifully landscaped and all of the stuff that goes along with that. So we continue to work with them on that.
But the thing is, there's a lot of towns that are along the route
Right.
that don't have
Right.
a stop.
Right.
They feel that they're paying for something that's not, paying both in money and inconvenience for something that they're not getting any advantage.
And I totally understand that. We are fortunate because we will get the economic advantage of having a stop in our city. If I were mayor of one of those other cities, I would be having the same concerns.
Do you think it'll kill it, or?
No.
What do you think the chances are, or the timeline of getting the tri-rail trains over to the east tracks?
Well, I think we got to get this going, and that's the other point, is that if we don't move forward with All Aboard Florida, we probably won't see that crossover with the commuter rail going from those places like Stewart and Jupiter and places north. So I think the timeline is beyond. I think the All Aboard Florida stuff has to get moving, pardon the pun, before that takes place.
Mhm. Now, from what I understand, they've got the room to put up to 4 tracks on there, all the way north. There's gonna be a tremendous increase in freight traffic here. Whether All Aboard Florida happens or not, there's gonna be an incredible increase in freight traffic.
Well, I talked with the people on Monday, All Aboard Florida people on Monday, and I said, what's the story about freight? And they continue to say they have no intention of increasing the freight at this point. So I can only tell you what they've said.
Even so, there's a concern about more freight trains, and there's concern just about how many trains they say they're gonna run for All Aboard Florida. And then a lot of people would like to see a tri-rail type service on these tracks. I mean, some people are saying, well, if the cities even that want it haven't really thought it out as far as how many trains that's going to be, what that's going to do to traffic, what that's going to do to quality of life.
Well, we have thought it out, and it's not an easy trade-off, but there are things that will make it better. As I said, the quiet zones are a must. We just can't. We have 39 crossings in our city. And I think I told you this before, and more than any other individual place, almost more than all of Broward County. I think all of Broward County only has like 32 or something, or 42. So it impacts our citizens a lot. So we want to make sure that it's done right.
But you think the trade-off is going to be the positives are going to outweigh the...
Well, I guess today they have issued their economic impact statement. I have not read it yet. I know there's going to be discussions from all kinds of people about it. And I know that the president of All Aboard, I don't know if it's president of All Aboard or president of FEC, but somebody will be here tomorrow morning talking to the chamber board and trustees and about the economic impact study. So, I can tell you anecdotally that we've seen happen in our downtown in terms of land being purchased and projects coming into us that I think are certainly being influenced by the fact that there'll be a train station there.
Do you think the talk of more motel or hotels and stuff like that is...
Well, yeah,
related to this?
there's talk about more condo buildings, hotels, office space, so.
And you think it's related to this? Or this
I think
is another
I think
factor?
in part it is. I don't think it's a one-to-one correlation, but I think in part it is. Yeah.
Just a little thing, the Downtown Development Authority yesterday, Raphael was talking about that they sure love to, again, raise the issue of a dog park along the waterfront. Would you be okay for that? He said not right on the waterfront because there's too much use for that, but he'd love to find a place downtown with all the people moving downtown.
Yeah, I think it would be great. As a matter of fact, I just heard this morning that the folks who are responsible for keeping our waterfront clean have to spend a lot of time picking up after dogs. So I would remind dog owners to pick up after their dogs. And perhaps if we had a dog park, we wouldn't see so much of that in other places in downtown.
Do you have a place that you think, oh, that'd be great for the park?
I don't.
Okay. And
As a matter of fact, I was at a ribbon cutting at a new store for dogs. I forget the name of it.
Oh, I remember, it was on Dixie, is it across from the Whitney?
Yeah, right across from the Whitney
Right.
on Dixie. And all the dog owners were there and with their dogs, and every last one of them talked to me about a dog park. So,
the Marina Hotel
Mm-hmm.
is coming up on Tuesday.
actually, they requested a continuance for 2 weeks.
Did they give you a reason?
I haven't seen the letter. I just know that they requested a continuance.
Okay, all right. And the chapel by the lake thing, still tied up in the courts, you know, the judge.
Well, they're moving forward, though. Like at the planning meeting last night, they looked at the landscaping and the submerged land, and that went forward without any opposition, actually. So they continue to move
The
forward.
city is going to continue to work on it as if it's ongoing until a judge.
Yeah, we're asking,
unless the
well,
judge says otherwise.
our first step is to ask for a summary judgment. So that's what's before them now, or will be.
Anything else? Thank you.